Are you tired of letting obstacles stand in the way of your dreams? What if I told you those very obstacles could become the stepping stones to your greatest growth? In today's video, I'm going to show you how to shift your mindset and transform your biggest challenges into powerful opportunities for success and fulfillment. From overcoming self-doubt to turning failure into fuel, I'm going to share real-life strategies and a personal story that's going to help you thrive through adversity. Hi, I am Claire from New Possibilities, and we are going to jump straight in. We've all faced challenges that seemed impossible to overcome. But here's the truth. It's not the obstacle that defines us, it's how we respond to it. Mindset really is the golden key. Shifting from this is happening to me to this is happening for me can be a complete game changer. It really does unlock your potential and aligns you with your true path. And this helps you to become who you're really, truly meant to be. Fear, failure, setbacks, I know they can paralyze us, but they can also shape and mold us for the better. Hopefully, if we come at it with the right mindset. Every successful person has faced these same hurdles. The difference, they've learned to see them as opportunities for growth. Let's take a few real-world examples. JK Rowling, we know, was a single mum living on welfare. She was rejected numerous times by multiple publishers, but she didn't give up. Instead, she used those rejections as fuel and became one of the most successful authors in the world. Walt Disney went bankrupt and was even fired, can you believe it, for not being creative enough. But he kept going and he changed the world of entertainment. Steve Jobs from Apple, he was ousted from his company that he had founded, but he came back years later with revolutionary ideas that really has reshaped our technology. So what do these people have in common? Resilience. They don't just face obstacles, they transform them, or the obstacles transform them for the better in shape of their own evolution and growth. So let me share a story from my own life. Like, as a psychotherapist, we're trained not to share too much of ourselves, but hey, obviously we're human too. And I believe that sometimes our own stories can be a powerful illustration. So years ago, I was in a serious accident and I sustained a TBI, a traumatic brain injury. I was later diagnosed with post-concussion syndrome, and that means living with the effects of a concussion beyond the usual 24 hours to 2 weeks for up to years. It can be years, which is what I experienced. Now, during that acute phase, about 18 months, 2 years, I experienced excruciating head pain, like my head was in a vice, dizziness, blurred vision, vertigo. But for me, most debilitating was the memory loss. Like, some days I didn't even know if I'd showered or if I'd eaten. I'd have to tune in to my body and go, well, am I hungry? Do I feel clean? Do I smell? But really, the most devastating symptom was that my language center was affected. I'd start a sentence and then midway through, I'd forget the word. And in trying to find it, then I'd lose the sentence completely and the thought behind it, which really was frustrating. It was maddening and often fairly humiliating. And all of this was happening at the time I was studying to become a psychotherapist. Now, I'd lost my job and my home because of this accident and the impacts of it. And now possibly this future career. And, that was really important to me. It felt like a calling for me. But it was such an obstacle. It was like, how on earth am I going to possibly help others when I can't even string a coherent thought or sentence together? And yet, something unexpected happened. While my cognitive abilities were impaired, absolutely, my other senses became heightened. I began to feel things more deeply. Like, I could sense this emotional undercurrent with this clarity. It's like my intuition came alive. Have you ever seen Jill Bolt Taylor's TED Talk called A Stroke of Insight? It's well worth a watch. She's amazing. He's a Harvard-trained brain scientist who had this massive stroke, and experienced this profound shift, losing like this analytical left brain and awakening the right hemisphere of intuition and creativity and spiritual connection. And she describes like being able to feel people's energy when they entered her room. Their emotions were like colors and vibrations, and she could feel their presence. And that was similar to what was happening to me. Even though I couldn't recall a client's sister's name, I could feel the emotional resonance of what they had shared in previous moments. I could feel the feelings underneath their words. My attunement was becoming sharp. It's like I could feel when something landed with a client or when I'd missed the mark. A door had closed, but another had opened, one that felt pretty custom built for this line of work. Of course, there were many obstacles, and I had to relearn how to write essays and case studies and dissertations. I had to almost adapt my entire way of thinking and shift from the logic brain to this felt sense of intuition. And I had to stop fighting for that missing elusive word and let go and just trust that what truly mattered would return, and trust that what was truly needed would find its way, would be birthed. I had to pace myself. I had to listen to my body, which I was not very good at. And most importantly, surrender to this new way of being. Surrender to a different kind of intelligence, like value that kind of intelligence. And in doing so, I didn't just recover, I evolved. What was emerging was something far more powerful than what I'd lost. I was feeling this deeper connection to my environment, like life felt richer. And my practice was becoming rooted in empathy, which is what I had envisioned. I stepped into this version of myself that I'd never would have met if everything had gone according to plan. When we start to see our challenges as part of a greater plan, a soul curriculum, should we say, a soul curriculum designed for our highest growth, then everything changes. My mentor often says, every blessing can become a disaster, and every disaster can become a blessing. But there is always a better way. That truth reclaims your power. As we know, you may not control the storm, but you can choose how you're going to sail through it. And that choice, that attitude, that's where transformation begins. Now, this is not about positivity, it's about truth. This isn't about smearing false positivity over pain or pretending that everything's fine. This is about mining the gold from even the darkest places, seeking the jewel. Ask yourself some of these questions. What is the learning here? What is the gift? How might this be shaping me in ways that I can't yet see? How can I turn this into something beautiful? Yes, some situations are truly dire. But even in those moments, the opportunity exists to rise, to focus forward, to become something more. And eventually you realize you've become someone stronger, wiser, more aligned than before. And in the day-to-day, those moments are more subtle, but they're just as powerful. Because here's the truth. Life is always seeking to support your growth. Life always seeks to support life, even when it doesn't look like it. This is one of those 3 universal principles that I'm sure we'll discuss at a later date. If you tune into that current, you begin to realize even the hardest moments are pointing you towards new possibilities. So turning your biggest obstacles into opportunities isn't just a nice, wishful idea. It's a profound truth. When you align with this, you're swimming in the currents of universal wisdom. You are aligning with what is real. And you can check out one of my videos on alignment and attunement to get some more information on this. So now I want to hear from you. Have you overcome a challenge that's changed your life? Share your story in the comments below. And if you're looking for more inspiration, you can check out my video on overcoming self-doubt and achieving success. It's packed with a ton of tools and heart-centered insight. So until next time, keep growing, keep going, and you're not alone.